Hello students, and welcome back to day 3 of your unit on athletics and academics. Today is going to be the third and final day that we are going to discuss the objectives, so they should be relatively ingrained by now. So let's go ahead and take a look at them one last time. So the whole concept behind this unit was to create a short research project. We've been talking about very focused questions. You need to make sure that you can demonstrate an understanding of athletics. That is the subject that is under investigation, and academics. Have you gathered relevant information? Have you checked that information for credibility and accuracy? And have you integrated that information? I mean, have you brought it together and put it into your presentation and avoided just outright copying? How is your evidence? Were you able to take it from any literary or informational text? Does it support your analysis, reflection, and research? How about your presentation now? Is that presentation going to be engaging? Is it going to really dive into those findings, that supporting evidence? Is your audience going to be able to follow you? Is it organized, developed? Is the style appropriate to the task that I've outlined, the purpose, and the people who will be listening to your presentation? How about the digital media? Have you just thrown it together, or are you thinking strategically? This video needs to be placed here. This video needs to be placed here, okay? And think about your speech patterns, okay? Are you going to show a video and then talk? Or are you going to talk first and then show all of the videos? Those are things that you need to consider. Okay, so let's get right into the lesson today. So the question for day 3 is similar, but just a little different, okay? Now we're talking about you. What gets more of your approval and attention? Is it academics or athletics? So take a moment to think about that. Where do you spend the majority of your time and energy? So as the pattern that you've seen emerging so far is I'm going to ask a question in relation to academics. A question in relation to athletics. So the question is the same, okay? Why in the face of apparent failure do you continue to come back day after day, week after week, month after month to improve your athletic abilities? What is it about sports that makes you work so hard to put in the long-term commitment necessary for success? So as we did yesterday, go ahead and pause the video right now, and on that same sheet of paper or on a different sheet of paper, make sure that you answer this question again. I really want you to dive into this question. I really want you to start evaluating some of your own thoughts regarding athletics. So go ahead and pause the video now and do that. Okay, welcome back. So as we did yesterday, I'm going to offer you another piece of advice or a piece of information. You come back because you believe you can do better. You know that people who look like you have been successful. You see the success on television and in your own community. Interesting. You see people being rewarded. You see people that look like you being rewarded. So that continues to drive you, continue to motivate you. All right, so now let's flip the coin and let's talk about academics. And the question once again is, why don't you persevere in the classroom? Why do you give up as soon as you encounter any academic difficulty? So once again, pause the video here, take some time to consider this question, and write down a thoughtful response. Okay, welcome back. Let me offer this to you. Consider this. You don't really believe that you can improve your school achievement. Most of the people you identify with aren't achieving either. There are so many stereotypes that say that people who do well in sports don't do as well academically. You don't know or see adults on a regular basis who are both cool and academic achievers. And there's a lot of interesting ideas here as well. Think about that. There's a lot of these stereotypes in our culture that say for instance, let's take a look at the dumb jock, that you can't do well in sports and do well academically. And you don't see adults or people on a regular basis who you say, hey, that person's cool, and they're also great at school. So this is one of the major impediments. This is one of the major roadblocks as to why we don't see school and make it as cool as sports. All right, so day 3. Students, this is your final day, okay? So today will be your third and final day to work on your presentation. You've had 2 days now. It needs to be close to completion by this point. All video links must be submitted and approved by today, okay? All teams must be prepared to present tomorrow, right? Because there are so many of us, and each presentation is 10 minutes, and there's an average of 30 students. That means at best we can get through 5 presentations, more likely 4 a period. So we're going to have to do some on Thursday and then some on Friday. But everybody will need to be ready to go tomorrow because teams will be chosen at random. As always, the end result is a 10-minute presentation. Your team will need to teach the class about your sport, team, and player. And in the spirit of avoiding plagiarism, I want to remind you that the questions that I've been asking you and a lot of the great insights that I've been offering you throughout the course of this unit have been from Multiplication is for White People, Raising Expectations for Other People's Children by Lisa Delpit. All right, students, that was the end of day 3. I hope you're ready for presentations tomorrow. We're going to have 2 wonderful days of presentations, and I'm also going to offer you a little bit more information over the course of the next 2 days before we get into our presentations. Thank you for your attention. I'll see you tomorrow.